Know who is this? I am Carlos, the Colombian guy. Welcome to my YouTube channel once again. What's good, guys? Welcome to another episode of my YouTube channel. And y'all know, beside the updates, beside the news, I also like to bring topics that I can give my humble opinion about. And in this case, I'm gonna explain the best way that foreigners and passport bros they can use today in Colombia. I'm not saying that if you hear me, my advice, you're gonna be successful, you're gonna find a woman in the next 2 weeks in the country. I'm just saying that if you hear me, you're probably gonna get a better experience and a safe way today in the country. Let's speak about this and let's jump in this. So the reason why I decided to do this video is because in the last video that I post on the channel, a brother comment on me saying if I could explain the best way how today in Colombia and to do in a safe way, taking account that a lot of brothers they fell on traps and they end in getting robbed, getting dropped, and in worse of the case they end in losing their life. So on my opinion, I'm saying talking about from my experience what I've been seeing with my own eyes. So I don't recommend dating apps in Colombia. I don't recommend none of these dating apps in Colombia if you're really trying to date safe in Colombia and if you're trying to find the right woman in the country. The reason why I don't recommend dating apps is because you never know what's behind the screen. The woman that is behind the screen, if it's the one that you've been talking for a while, in majority of the case, like all these women that are on Tinder and all these apps that I don't really know none of these apps because we don't use a lot of apps, today in Colombia where, well, I can date because I got somebody in my life, so I can't really do that, you know what I mean? But mostly of the people in Colombia, men's, women's, they barely are using dating apps. They like to do, in a natural way. So majority of these women that are, on dating apps, it's because they trying to get high expectations. Majority of them, like I say, if you don't have, if you can't afford this expectation that they have, which is traveling, many other stuff, luxury bags, luxury clothes. I'm saying majority of them, not everybody and the mama that is on the dating apps, they have all this expectation, but majority of them, they are expecting something that majority of Colombians, because 90% of 85% of the people in Colombia, they poor, they can afford a lot of luxury things. So majority of these girls, they trying to find something that majority of Colombia's men, they can afford to give them, how they want it, faster how they wanna, faster, how they wanna get it. So that's the reason why I don't really recommend, dating apps, because like I say again, you never know what you're expecting, especially, in Colombia, like since we have all these dating apps, stuff like that, even like at some point in Colombia, people, they don't even, want to meet up each other, through social media because they were like, oh, I don't know, who is the person on the screen, behind the screen. And, they had the right, to think about that because the world, is getting crazy, more crazy every day. And, they had to write, to think on that, basic on all the case, that pop up in social medias, sometimes that you see. So it makes you kind of like think twice before, you're trying to date, you're trying to go, in a blind date with a woman that you never met. And, vice versa with a guy that you had never met. So that's the reason why Colombians, they don't really believe in dating apps. It doesn't mean like a lot of Colombians, there is no a lot of Colombians on dating apps, because that's true. There is a lot of Colombians that are in dating apps, but majority of them, the women in this case, that this is what I'm trying to focus about. So majority of them, they trying to expect something from you. Some of them, they trying to do the right thing. They trying to marry, stuff like that. Meet people from different culture, which is good. Exchange culture. Have a great time if that's what they want to do. But like I say, they are expecting something that Colombian men, they can afford to give them right away how they want it. So like I don't recommend none of this app, Colombian Cupid, Tinder, especially Tinder, because we've been seeing a lot of crazy things, especially this year, since 2020, we've been seeing a lot of crazy things on Tinder, with all these days, that Americans, Pastor Bros, some, unfortunately, they've been falling, some of them, they've been falling, in all this trap, and like I said, then they get robbed, they getting, dropped, and worse of the case, they're losing their life, and life, is something that you can recover. Once you're done, it's a wrap. Once you be drinking with Michael Jackson, it's a wrap, like it's nobody can help you to recover that. So, on my opinion, dating apps, don't work out in Colombia, on my opinion, like probably 97% of the kids that you're trying to date through a dating apps, you can get successful, you can get the success. But majority of the kids that I've been hearing, stuff like that, majority in the case, they've been falling down for real, because, like, a lot of these women, they have a different mentality, they have open mentality, and they are expecting a lot of things. That's why a lot of these days, they don't get, they don't get successful. A lot of these women, they just going on a date because they just want to drink, they just want to eat dinner. And a lot of guys probably going to tell me, that that's not true, that's not the reality. But I do know that that's a reality. I've been seeing this with my own eyes. I've been seeing gurus, and this only is not happening, to foreigners, to Pastor Bros, to guys from the US, guys from Europe that trying to date in Colombia. This can happen to anybody. You know what I mean? That when the gurus, they don't like you, they just trying to, go out on a date just to get the food, stuff like that, and go into their house. You know what I mean? So like I said, that's one of the reasons why I would never recommend a guy real to use, dating apps to date in Colombia. For me, one of the best ways to date in Colombia is, this is an old school thing, but it really works out in Colombia, and it's going to the mall, going to the restaurant, going to the square. There is a lot of, gurus, Colombian gurus that they go out, and Venezuelan gurus that they live in Colombia that they like to go out on Sunday. Why Sunday? Sunday is the day off in Colombia, so majority of the family, friends, they meet up to go out, get some drinks, meet up with the family, do many other stuff. So Sunday is the best day for you to find, like regular gurus, like they had the day off and they take advantage of the day to go to the mall and, to go to all the place. There is, like some pros and cons, today to trying to like find regular gurus in the malls in Colombia. And it's like Colombia, so unfortunately, it's a really violence place. We're doing better than before. And, I'm not here, to discuss about that. But I just want to, clarify that you guys already know this. So, like when you are in the mall, you're trying to talk to the gurus and stuff like that, at some point, like they will feel, some of them will feel like, oh, this guy is trying to chase me and stuff like that. So they trying to, start screaming, when they are dramatic, you know what I mean? You know how women are. So this, could be a red flag. So trying to date or trying to find, good gurus and regular gurus in the mall. But it can really work out because, like I say, Sunday and basically like any day, but on Sunday you will see like more type of women, in the mall. So mall is one of the best place, for you guys to date in Colombia, or either to try to find the girl, because the main thing for you today, you first of all you need to have the guest, you need to have the woman, and for you, to find the right woman. For me, on my opinion, like mall is one of the best place to go, one of the best place to check it out. These chains restaurants, they are really good too, especially, Frisbee, Colombians, they like to, Frisbee, it's like KFC, but it's a Colombian brand, so a lot of Colombians, they like to go over there, this is really good place, for you to probably find a right woman. So I'm not saying that if you now, like, once you step out from the plane in Colombia, you just gonna go to Frisbee, to the mall to be chasing women, because things don't work out like that. And this is one of many reasons why, a lot of brothers that they for real, they're trying to find a wife, they're trying to find a good girl, they haven't found nobody yet in Colombia. And the reason why is because, and I apologize if you brothers, gonna feel, some brothers gonna feel offended, but I know, they are kind of like, they've been feeling, they are on this paper too. A lot of brothers, they just hungry for women's. They just hungry for women. They just hungry to get the slice of pizza, and they've been chasing women like crazy. They've been chasing women like crazy. And like I say, like a lot of brothers, they just so hungry, man. They just so hungry, and then trying to hurry up to find girls, to find the wife. And that's the reason why they haven't found anybody, because how they hungry like that, how they chasing women like crazy. The only thing that they're getting is a really bad woman, with crazy behaviors, that they that won't give the expectation, that they are needing, probably, to propose to them, to dating. And to be the girl, and best of the case, to marry them, you know what I mean? So that's the reason why a lot of brothers, they haven't found nobody. I grew up with my mom telling me this: son, when you are trying to find the things, when you are hoping out to find the things, you won't find them. You will find them when you are not stressed about them, when you are not worried about them. They will appear. They will appear. And this happened to me many times, even in my house when I used to live with my mother, all the time where we were like things were getting lost, like money, some things, like we were trying to find it, and we couldn't. We couldn't, and because like the reason why we couldn't is because that day we were really hurry up to find the things, and it never appeared the day that, we were not even thinking. I wasn't even thinking about that. The thing just popped up, like in front of me, and I was like, oh, oh my God, like I've been looking for you for a while, and like now you appear just out to the moon. So this is, the advice that I give to the brothers. Please, stop being hungry about women's. Stop being hungry about women. It doesn't mean like because your friend, he already got a good wife and stuff like that. This is not a competition. And a lot of brothers, they've been taking this personal that this is, a competition, and they had to find a woman for them. They had to, this, what they've been putting on the man, they had to find women for them. And, like when you feel like you don't have to, that if it happens, it happens. If it don't, you're going to find the right woman for your life here in Colombia, anywhere in the world. Because this is something that I've been trying to tell the guys for a while. I stopped believing a lot of YouTubers, content creator. I don't consider myself a YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber in process. This content creators, YouTuber, that they trying to sell you guys dreams. You know what I mean? They tell you where today, how, when, like where today. And, like you shouldn't allow, people to say your dreams, because at the end of the day, they're trying to like control your feelings, and you allow them to do that. You know what I mean? Nobody can tell you where today in Colombia, how, when, where today in Colombia, which city, which area. Nobody can tell you that, because that's the pain of you. Nobody can control your feelings, chase yourself, because a lot of brothers, and it's getting really popular that a lot of brothers been getting set up. And they getting set up, like dating with these girls, like marry this girl that they don't love the brothers. But how, they've been told that, oh, in Medellin, you can find the right woman for you. Cartagena, you can find the right woman for you. In Bucaramanga, in Bogota, this city, this another city. So at the end of the day, a lot of brothers, get confused. And not even myself, that I'm Colombian, born and raised in Cartagena, Colombia, I can't even tell you guys, where, how, and where to find your own woman, because, like I say, nobody can tell you that. Nobody can control your feelings. These feelings are coming from your heart, you know what I mean? And like I say, a lot of brothers, they also, they've been dating women that they don't love, that they don't like it, just because they got introduced by somebody else. Like I say, like this is something that is really messing up their game, because at the end of the day, the only one that are going to get affected is them. Because the women, like they can forget about that, keep going, trying something else. But like I say, at the end of the day, you are the only one that's gonna lose money and time. But I feel, I always say like it's worse, to lose time, because time is something that you can recover. Money, you can recover the money, but time is something that you really can. So fellas, like on my opinion, like I say again, like working apps, like dating apps, they don't really work out in Colombia, on my opinion. If you wanna try, if you trying to find, the right woman, you got to do the right thing. So the right thing for me, in my opinion, is to stop, like using Tinder and stuff like that. A lot of these girls, like they work on Tinder. I mean, they make you think like, the regular girls and stuff like that, but they work from home. You know what I mean? I know a lot of girls that work from home in Cartagena, like they're working girls and they work from home. And, like they they go with you for drinks and stuff like that, and you go straight to the bed, you do what you gotta do. On my opinion, what is it comes to your life is it goes. And if like the slice of pizza is something like should be really valued for a woman, and if they just give you that right away, to me it's about impression to me. For a right woman, because I mean, you trying to, as a man, you're trying to go hard, to trying to date, trying to get that woman. And if she give you that easy like that, it means probably, she likes you a lot, or either, she's used to do that with all the guys too. Like I say, on my opinion, I'm not trying to judge women, because at the end of the day, some women, like they need to be, they are so valued for us. You know what I mean? So I don't try to judge women, stuff like that. I'm just trying to, put this on the topic. So like I say, fellas, like if you trying to do the right thing, you're trying to get the right woman, you're trying to do the right thing all the time, because working, dating apps, like they are no good tools, on my opinion, to me. Like dating apps, are for weekend warriors. You know what I mean? If you trying to just, have a great time, stuff like that, that's okay. You can use that. But, like you need to get ready for what you're going to expect. You can expect good things and bad things. You know what I mean? You can work it out like that. You can get a good woman, you can get a bad woman, but trust me, majority of these crazy dates, 97% they end not really well, because like sometimes when the woman sometimes with the foreigners in Colombia, they just playing a long game. Just means you dating and stuff like that, you smash them right away, or she didn't ask you for nothing, stuff like that. Sometimes they also be paying for their own stuff, and they're just playing an own game. You probably with team, you're gonna go or post, because a lot of brothers do this, take some pictures time with the girls, and then they go ahead, they post on the group, she paid for this, she paid for that, she made my own breakfast and stuff like that. But she's just playing the long game. A month after, she will, I need something, I need this, I need that, you know what I mean? And you thinking like, she's just, like regular girl, that she got good intentions for you, because that's what she showed at the beginning. You probably think, like, yeah, she deserved that. She didn't ask me for nothing, stuff like that. And this, sometimes when the name is her, I'm not saying you shouldn't be sending, you shouldn't be taking care of, this woman. But, like what I'm trying to say is like a lot of women, they play the long game. You know what I mean? Not all of them, like I say. 3% of the girls that are on dating apps, 3% of them, they want something serious. 97%, they just wanna have a great time. They just wanna go with the flow. It is what it is. If it happen, it happen. If it don't, it don't. But in my opinion, a lot of them, like they've been used to do that. You know what I mean? If you want a girl that that I'm not messing with none of this, stuff like that. You just need to get out from your comfort zone, experience Colombia by yourself, stop believing a lot of these YouTubers. And I don't try to mention, none of these YouTubers, I don't have nothing against them, but it really gets me mad, because they trying to sell people, they trying to sell brothers, a dream that is not. A dream that is not. It's like, like when Colombians and people from other nationalities immigrate to the US, family that is over there, they just trying to, sell them dreams. And once they get there, because I've been hearing this, I've never been to the US, but I've been hearing this, like a lot of brothers, when they get there, what they see, it's not what they were expecting. You need to work hard to get your own things, so they think, like things come easy, like you're just picking up dollars from the floor. So same thing, in Colombia, same thing is over here. A lot of these women, like I said, fellas, they just expecting a lot of luxury things, and it's no bad, for you to taking care of a woman. But if you're trying to find, like I said, a good woman, because when you got money, man, everything good. When you don't have, you will see the real ones. You will see your wife, your friends, your family. When you broke, you will see them. You will see who they are. You will discover, who they really were with you. You know what I mean? So I hope you guys, like, could learn, about this lesson. I'm not saying like, it's a 100% guarantee that if you go to malls, if you go to Frisbee and a lot of, this Colombians, like this Colombian place that I've been suggesting, you're going to find a woman. Please, fellas, don't get it twisted, because, I'm not trying to like, see your future. You know what I mean? That's on you. What I've been trying to tell you guys is like, don't allow people to sell your dreams, because I'm not sitting down here to sell you guys a dream. And probably that's the reason why a lot of people, they don't like my content. They've been haters, because they've been saying, oh, I don't speak the facts, it's cap. I think a lot of brothers, they've been like, like they like when other people, all the YouTubers, content creators, they lie to them. They've been lying to them. That's the content that they like, like people, selling the expectations, selling the dreams. Oh, you can find this. Oh, man, if you go to Choco, if you go to Cali, Colombia, of course, you can find the right girl over there. Bad women and good women are everywhere. You can find good women in US, you can find women in Europe, you can find women in Canada, you can find bad women in Colombia, you can find bad women in Venezuela. Bad and good people are everywhere. Bad and good women are everywhere. This is what I'm trying to tell the guys. So don't allow nobody, to say your dreams about, oh, here you can do that, you can find this girl over there, man, Barranquilla. Oh, if you go here, if you go there, no, you can find women that can't give the hell in the most empty place in Colombia. Like they've been barefoot, they don't even use flip-flops, they from like indigenous, stuff like that. But like I say, like anybody can give you a hard time, but it's up to you if you allow this woman, if you allow anybody to play with you to say your dreams. What I mean? That's just coming from my opinion. Dating apps, like they don't work out for me in Colombia. If you trying to find something serious, if you are a weekend warrior, what I mean, you can do that. What I mean? It's nothing wrong with that. You can just go with the flow. But the best way today, a regular girl, you just gotta go to the malls, stuff like that, and be careful what you do over there. Like I already mentioned, don't be chasing women now, because I mean they can call you the police, stuff like that. Or he's been like accusing me, like he's been chasing me and stuff like that. So this is kind of like very tricky. If the woman, they pay attention to you, just go ahead, get the number for WhatsApp. Just go with the flow. If they don't, please don't chase them, because you can get really in trouble. And like you're gonna have really hard time in the country. So from my opinion, that's the best way how to date in Colombia, and how to do it safe. You know what I mean? But it's kind of tricky, fellas, because like I say, I mean, I can tell you how to be safe in Colombia, because even sometimes myself, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe in Colombia, even myself. I'm Colombian, and sometimes I don't even feel safe. Even in my own neighborhood, I don't feel safe. So if I don't feel safe, how can I tell you how to be safe? You know what I mean? So I can give you advice about, how can you protect yourself better. But, like bad moments, crazy situations, like unsafe place, are everywhere. So I can tell you, how can you be 100% safe? Because like I say, sometimes, and this is the situation from a lot of Colombians and from a lot of people in the world, you know what I mean? A lot of people from crazy countries like this one, but I love my country. I'm proud to be Colombian and more proud to be Afro-Colombian. So, like I can tell you how you can date safe. I'm just trying to, give, all the advice, how can you do it better? Because like we never know what's up, we never know what's next. But what I do know is like it's way better and it's way safer to date women outside of dating apps. That's way safer. Women outside of dating apps, like you met them on a restaurant, the mall, like I've been saying, I think it's way more safer. And I'm sure, if a lot of brothers, do this way, it's going to really work it out for y'all. So, guys, see you soon on the next video. And this was Carlos, the Colombian guy. I hope you guys like this. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you, fellas.